There is a Hokkien song, right? 一人一半，感情袂散. If you divide things half, you preserve the relationship, you preserve the peace, right? And the song didn't go 一人60%，一人40%，感情袂散. No, it doesn't say if you had 60%, you get 40%, you preserve the peace. No, there is wisdom to half-half.
I think in our political discourse and even in our debates in this House, we should strive to treat members' views and other parties' views fairly and accept when there is a philosophic or ideological difference, call it what you will, rather than being too quick to label the other side as disingenuous. Such labels can affect the tone of discourse in the wider society if alternative ideas become demonized or labeled uncharitably.
Mr. Leon Pereira had asserted that government tries to push a single dominant narrative without regard to the alternatives raised by the WP. I think it cannot be true. If not, we would not be having such extensive debates on so many issues in this House and hearing out each other. Further, every political party will have its own dominant narrative based on its manifesto, based on its values. BAP has it, WP has it. It is part and parcel of political contestation. I would say that many of the ideas raised in this House, including by the WP, are not fundamentally at odds with existing policies. They build upon the policies that we already have and make them better, cover more areas. Sometimes they are shades of the same policy, and we need not exaggerate their differences. But a fundamental difference arises when it comes to WP's ideas for the budget. Why is that so? Because to do more, one has to spend more, and one has to say where the money is coming from. However, the WP never supported the GST system. So an alternate budget without the GST simply cannot work and is not a viable alternative. The sums just don't add up. You cannot give up a major source of revenue and yet want to spend more in so many areas. I'm new to this subject. I may have misunderstood WP's position. Perhaps it has changed its long-held position and now accepts that GST is needed, but merely objects to the increase from 7% to 9%. Then to make up for the loss of 2 percentage points of GST revenue, the WP has proposed, amongst other things, changes to the NIRC formula. So instead of drawing half of NIRC for government spending, WP proposes to draw a higher amount, 60%. Our view is that the reserves belong to all generations of Singaporeans, current and future. Even though they are not born, they cannot vote, and their voices have yet to be heard. As responsible stewards, we will nevertheless safeguard their welfare and interests. To achieve this, the current formula is deliberately designed to divide the NIRC equally. Half for current generation to spend, and the other half adds to the savings for the future. A half-half apportionment is a formula that is simple, is fair, and I think is wise.
When we put out our proposals, talked about where the financing is going to come from, and the minister referred to one of them, which is raising the NIR ceiling. So would you acknowledge that that has been done as opposed to not being done?
There is a Hokkien song, right? 一人一半，感情袂散. If you divide things half, you preserve the relationship, you preserve the peace, right? And the song didn't go 一人60%，一人40%，感情袂散. No, it doesn't say if you had 60%, you get 40%, you preserve the peace. No, there is wisdom to half-half. There's I don't know if members remember when we were young, there's this proverbial story of the fox dividing the meat amongst two parties, and he deliberately tear it 60-40. The one who get the 40% meat protested, he said the other piece is bigger. So the fox took a bite of the 60% piece, he deliberately took a bigger bite, and then it got reversed. The other one who got smaller said that the other piece is bigger. And the fox kept taking bites until in the end you got nothing left. For the opposition, the main thing you need to do, I think, is to present alternatives so that people have a basis of decision, have a basis to compare. And in doing so, first, got to do homework, put forward proposals that are credible. There's so much data out there, there should be no excuses, there's not enough data. In any case, if you need specific data, you can always submit a written question to ask for specific data. And when there are sensitive issues, like 377A, take a stand and not hedge, because it's important. Take a clear stand so that the people have a measure of what the party truly stands for. Third, when it comes to alternate proposals, take principled, consistent approach, have consistent considerations. And finally, because all opposition always ask the government to do more, you also need to explain how benefits are to be paid. The people want good, strong government, but yet they want checks and balance in opposition. Every election, they are thinking through what is the equilibrium. And so the situation is evolving. We are contesting, but we are also working together to find the equilibrium for Singapore. I share what I think we need to do to uphold good politics, because then we will serve the people well.